Got a little bit of breaking news as it relates to Tesla. So if you are a Tesla fan, a Tesla investor, or just like to pay attention to what's going on with Elon, you might want to listen up. And the TLDR is the fact that it looks like Tesla is about to lay people off. Now, obviously, with mainstream media just being diametrically opposed to Elon Musk, whenever they hear anything about him, they're going to be negative, and that's exactly what we see going on right now. So I want to cover the story of what it means, what it doesn't mean, and how in reality, I actually personally think that this is actually going to push the stock up in the short term. But before we get into that, check this out. How Jack Dorsey's plan to get Elon Musk to save Twitter went south. That's an interesting headline that was just posted today. But you know what else we just found out today? Top charts. The number one free app in, I think, 168, 170 countries worldwide, Twitter. So the whole plan to save, did it fail? Well, this is like one of those weird computer errors. It's like the task failed successfully. I guess if that's like the vibe that they're going with. This blows my mind. Tesla asks which jobs are critical, stoking layoff fears. Tesla staff are bracing for potential job cuts after managers were asked to affirm whether each of their employees' positions is critical. U.S. managers had to make the binary assessments of their deputies' roles in recent days. Tesla sent out single-line query for each job after canceling some employees' biannual performance reviews. The ask was consistent with Elon Musk's emphasis on cost-cutting efforts in the midst of a marked slowdown in Tesla's sales growth. The chief executive officer is known to take an unsparing approach with the companies he runs. In late 22, he gave Twitter staff an ultimatum to either commit to his hardcore ethos or leave. Have they officially laid people off at at Tesla? No, we already know that happened at Twitter. But it does, like, if you're reading the tea leaves, if you're reading the writing on the wall, it does seem like it's coming. But also, this isn't special in any means. If you look at really the last year and a half of any company, any big company, there's most likely been layoffs of some sort. I'm talking about what's going on at Facebook, aka Meta, Microsoft, a lot of financial players, almost every tech company has probably laid people off, the major ones that people talk about, maybe excluding like Apple. This is currently par for course, but when it comes to media, they're going to make it seem like somehow it's good for all these other companies, and it's actually somehow bad when it's just somehow involved with Elon. But anyway, if you look at the stocks, they actually go up. When these companies are announcing that they're laying people off, the investors are like, oh, okay, it is the cost-cutting measures. They're being a little bit more stringent with their capital expenditures, and the market seems to like it, and it pushes it higher and higher and higher. So it's weird because I know how this is getting spun right now, but as a Tesla investor, you're probably like, oh no, I kind of want this to happen. Why would I want to be like spending money on something that isn't critical when they referring to Elon and the earnings are in between two waves of the popularity really of EV and Tesla. The car maker shares extended gains before the start of regular trading on Wednesday on this announcement because that's what happens. Tesla's sales slowdown. So the rate of growth is slower, but it's still growing. So it's still in the positive right here. It's just not at the same velocity as it previously was. Musk, 52, said during Tesla's quarterly earnings call last month that the company was between two major growth waves. The first springing from its introduction of the Model 3 and Y, and the next expected to come from the lower cost vehicle aimed for late next year. So not only from a technical and even just like a consumer demand perspective, are they in between two waves? But remember, Tesla is a company that is very, very sensitive to interest rates. And right now, the Fed fund, we're probably at the terminal rate. We're currently sitting at 5.25%. So when the Fed has jacked up the Fed fund rate to fight inflation, so that means the Fed fund, it means money's expensive. We're battling inflation. Not many people are going out and saying, I would love to buy a brand new car right now. The financial situation for the average American and really most people on the globe is worse right now. So what did people expect would happen? So I think there's a couple things going on right now that explain the sales. But once again, everything in the market is cyclical. So just wait. It'll come back. That's how things work. Tesla has flagged ample spending toward the next generation EV and other growth initiatives, budgeting more than $10 billion in capital expenditures this year. Analysts also are expecting the company to increase spending on research and development to about $4.5 billion. I know right now there's other things going on, such as a big fight with Elon and the Delaware judge and his pay package, and If it makes him mad enough, is he going to take some of the AI development outside of the business umbrella of Tesla? It's possible. Obviously, we're going to have to wait on that, but there's a ton of money going into R&D. A lot of people getting a bit more excited about not only autonomous vehicles, but also the robo-taxi network, thinking that one day it could completely eclipse the value of Tesla as an automaker and just really open up the door for it. I think there's a lot going on here. I think there's a lot to be excited about in the long term. In the short term, I think it could be a bit of a rocky ride, a bit of a roller coaster, if you will. But that's what Tesla's MO has been for years. So if you've already invested in Tesla, you're used to this. If you're a little bit newer to the game, I guess just welcome to the game, and very quickly you're going to realize that this is pretty much par for course. But right now, like I said, things could be rocky. I want to cover what's going on, and I also want to once again just kind of point out how whenever mainstream media has anything to say about Elon, they always spin it and contort it in such a way that they have to make it negative. And I think they just don't like how he acts. I think they don't like what he represents to their business, because obviously Twitter and alternative tech in a general sense is destroying mainstream media. But I also think they just don't like him as a person because he's such a troll, and it frustrates them that the world's most wealthy person is such a troll and doesn't have the decorum that they're particularly used to. But it's going to be a crazy ride. I personally am just holding on to the handrails in front of me and white knuckling the whole situation.